Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Audrey gets the marks in Manchester North East. Labour rights give political newcomer warm welcome. Senator Audrey Marks on Tuesday went into the Manchester North Eastern constituency. She hopes to contest in the next general election and received a warm welcome from Labour rights, who has obviously accepted her as the replacement for veteran politician Audley Manayard Shaw. Marks, a political newcomer, was accompanied by the Jamaica Labour Party leadership, including Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Deputy Prime Minister and the JLP General Secretary Dr. Harris Chang, and the Deputy General Secretary Andrew Wheatley. This was very gratifying just to see the openness. They spoke about their concerns, but more importantly, they expressed the optimism of also working together in the future, and they accepted the fact that I am here to serve, and they have welcomed me into the constituency, and I am deeply grateful for that, Marks said after a party workers' meeting at the Christiana Christ Church. I feel very strongly that the JLP as the government has been doing a tremendous job. They have laid a foundation for our economic growth, and for a long time we have struggled with that, and I want to contribute to getting that third term so that we can finish that job, she told the journalists. I am excited, I am enthused, I am ready to work and very grateful that the people, the delegates, have been so accepting. I am willing to share, and I am looking forward to working with them, she added. Speculation had been rife for weeks that Marks would be named as the ruling party's choice to replace 72-year-old Shaw, who is stepping aside after well over 3 decades in public service. While Marks has not yet been formally announced as the JLP caretaker for the constituency, the fact that she was in the riding on Tuesday with senior JLP officials signals the party's intention to name her possibly next Monday, as indicated by Dr. Chang in an interview with the news Monday afternoon. When asked about her relationship with the 2 previous aspirants to replace Shaw, namely Councillor Omar Miller of the Craighead Division and the former Hydron Mikulski, Marks said the sentiment expressed is one of all hands on deck. Miller was previously endorsed by Shaw as his choice. However, there was tension in the constituency when Mikulski, an educator, expressed an interest in the seat. It was very important that Mr. Miller and Mr. Mikulski were involved in the decision about me becoming the candidate because they were here before. They expressed their interest, and so it is just the maximum respect to both of them that they are willing to discuss the whole process with the Jamaica Labour Party leadership, the Secretariat, and that they have both come to the position where they will endorse me being the candidate for North East Manchester, said Marks, who recently returned home after serving 2 terms as Jamaica's ambassador to the United States 2010 to 2012 and again starting in 2016. I am very grateful to them too, because as you know, when someone has their own aspirations, things could go very different. So I am pleased at their generosity of spirit and the lack of selfishness and looking ahead to the betterment of Jamaica and choosing to work with their party above their personal interest. So it was a very good day in terms of meeting both of them, Marks said, adding that she was looking forward to working with both men. Commenting on the visit, Chang said Ambassador Marks was more than warmly received. I was impressed with the reception and the energy in the constituency, as most of them said when they concluded their presentation. We are ready in the divisions Craighead, Christiana and Walderston. We have gone through a process of review of the constituents, that is surveys, polls, etc., as well as internal discussions to look at the situation and analyze some of the data that we have had. Out of the discussion, we have been able to convince Ambassador Marks, he explained. There are very strong grassroots organizers who are now ready to begin the process of keeping the seat for the Jamaica Labour Party and sending Miss Marks to Parliament. We will make a more formal announcement with a background of the individual and so forth by the end of the week as we settle our slate of candidates for Parliament, added Chang. when asked about the JLP's loss of the Walderston and the Christiana divisions to the People's National Party in last year's local government elections, Chang expressed a confidence that the outcome will be different when the parliamentary elections are held. "We have the seat and we will retain it with even a much bigger majority," he said. The PNP's Valentin Valwint, who has thrice lost in parliamentary elections, is again expected to be the party's candidate at the next election. Chang opted not to speak directly about the JLP's chances of retaining Manchester Central and the Southern, now held by JLP members. "We will give the prediction later, but the workers are very motivated. We will be taking back our seats and we could pick their PNP pocket in Manchester," Chang said, suggesting confidence in winning the Manchester Northwestern seat held by the PNP's Michael Phillips. Meanwhile, Dr. Wheatley said Shaw is also backing Marks. "He is in full support. It is one team going forward, and we are going to ensure that the people of Northeast Manchester continue to get quality representation that they are accustomed to," he said. IC cracks a whip on 3 councillors. The acting director of corruption prosecutions at the Integrity Commission, Ronnie Lawrence, has ruled that 3 councillors at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation should be charged for breach of Section 43(1)(a) of the Integrity Commission Act for failure to file statutory declarations. 2 of the councillors represent the People's National Party and the other the Jamaica Labour Party. Director of Investigations Kevin Stevenson, in his report to Parliament, says Donovan Guy, a JLP councillor at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, was legally obligated to file statutory declarations with the IC for the years 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Guy allegedly failed to submit the requisite statutory declarations to the Commission by the due date and was said to have failed to provide a reasonable cause for not filing on time. In addition, the IC said Guy was given an opportunity to discharge a liability by paying the fixed penalty and submitting the outstanding statutory declarations. Stevenson said Guy only complied with the latter obligation, therefore he failed to discharge his liability consistent with Section 43(3) of the ICA. The Director of Corruption Prosecutions has determined that Guy should be charged for breaching the law. The news sought comment from Guy but was unsuccessful as the call went to voicemail. At the same time, Van Rick Preddy, a PNP councillor who was legally obligated to file statutory declarations with the IC for the years 2019, 2021, and 2022, allegedly failed to submit the document by the due date. The IC said he provided no reasonable cause for his failure to do so. The IC said Preddy was given an opportunity to discharge a liability by paying the fixed penalty and submitting the required statutory declarations. The Director of Investigations concluded that Preddy only complied with the latter obligation, therefore he failed to discharge his liability consistent with Section 43(3) of the ICA. The Director of Corruption Prosecutions ruled that Preddy be charged for breaching the IC law. When contacted last evening, Preddy said he would issue a statement on the matter today. Dwight Burke, a PNP councillor, has also found himself in trouble with the IC for failing to file his statutory declaration on time. According to Stevenson, by virtue of his position as a councillor, Burke had a legal obligation at the material time to file statutory declarations with the Commission. Having allegedly failed to file a statutory declaration with the IC for the year 2022, Burke was given an opportunity to discharge his liability by way of paying a fixed penalty and submitting the required statutory declaration. Notwithstanding, Burke's compliance was partial, that is, he only submitted the required statutory declaration but failed to pay the fixed penalty, the IC Director of Investigations noted. He said liability cannot, therefore, on this basis, be said to have been discharged. When the Director of Corruption Prosecutions reviewed the report, he determined that Burke should be charged for breach of Section 431A of the ICA for failure to file statutory declaration. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.